We've talked before about the Kentucky Senate race. A longtime Republican senator and current Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has a real challenge in former Marine and Democratic nominee Amy McGrath. They recently debated, and disgusting Mitch McConnell just laughing, cackling when Amy McGrath confronted him about his abject failures in dealing with coronavirus. He just laughs. He's laughing as more than 200,000 have died. Take a look at this.
The House passed a bill in May, and the Senate went on vacation. I mean, you just don't do that. You negotiate. Senator, it is a national crisis. Yeah. You knew that the coronavirus wasn't going to end at the end of July. We knew this. I mean, I just think you've got to. And here's the thing: if you want to call yourself a leader,
so Bill,
if you want to call yourself a leader, you got to get things done. And those of us that served in the Marines, we don't just point fingers at the other side. We get the job done.
Senator, you went on vacation when people needed coronavirus relief. Quite a guy, right? I mean, we have to assume. I really believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, and I know there are every state has a lot of ideological, nutty right-wingers. We have to assume that not all Kentuckians actually like Mitch McConnell, don't we? In other words, part of why Mitch McConnell has been in power for so long has to be that many people simply aren't paying attention and don't actually endorse this guy's complete and total immorality. I hope for the sake of humanity that that's the case, at least to some extent. Here's more of Mitch McConnell laughing off accurate statements from Amy McGrath about the Supreme Court, about coronavirus relief, about everything. This montage includes part of the clip I showed you just a couple minutes ago.
And he's walking away from negotiations even now when President Trump even wants negotiations to happen before this election. It's irresponsible.
Senator McConnell.
And instead of doing that, he is trying to ram through a Supreme Court nominee right now, instead of negotiating, which is what he should have been doing all summer long to make that happen.
Senator, do you have an additional response?
We've got to get our democracy working because we have to get through this crisis right now.
That's your time. Senator McConnell.
Well,
the Senate went on vacation. I mean, you just don't do that. You negotiate. Senator, it is a national crisis. Yeah. You knew that the coronavirus wasn't going to end at the end of July. If you want to call yourself a leader, you got to get things done. And those of us that served in the Marines, we don't just point fingers at the other side. We get the job done.
Is it all a joke to Mitch McConnell? Or does he at least see Amy McGrath as a joke? Is that what it is? Because that's the laugh of a hypocrite. Unfortunately, there are many voters in Kentucky who think at least he's not a Democrat and they're going to vote for him. That counts for a lot in many Republican strongholds like Kentucky. But imagine removing Mitch McConnell on November 3rd. It's an uphill battle, no doubt. But if you look at 538.com, it says McConnell has a 96% chance of being reelected. The truth is we don't have very recent polling in Kentucky. If you look at the polls on Real Clear Politics, you'll see the latest poll is nearly a month old. Yes, McConnell was leading by 12 then, but that was a month ago. A lot has happened since then. It could be 6 right now. Within 3 weeks, it could be less than 6. We just have no idea. And it's a great race to get involved in. And then briefly, just as a reminder, South Carolina, incumbent Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has a serious challenge from Democratic candidate Jamie Harrison. Harrison has been raising ungodly amounts of money lately, but the concern is how much of the money is from around the country rather than from voters in South Carolina. But the latest polls there are good for Harrison. In the last month, the polls are a tie, Lindsey Graham ahead by 1, and 2 more ties. If you go beyond that, you're looking at polling from July. Very important race. I think Harrison has more of a shot than McGrath, but both really key races that you can get yourself involved in. Phone banking, door-to-door campaigning if you live in the States and you can do it safely, etc. Get involved. And we are going to talk on today's bonus show about some of these races and more as well. Get instant access to the bonus show by becoming a member at joinpakman.com. We'll see you then. Every single day, the Trump administration shows us what happens when anti-science Christian conservatives have power in government. on everything from climate change to fighting this pandemic. We cannot afford another 4 years of Donald Trump. One of our sponsors today is the Free Thought Equality Super PAC. Both they and I want to remind you that voting against Donald Trump in the presidential election is one of the most important things you can do right now. If you want religious conservatives to have less power and you want science to have more influence in government, make sure you're registered to vote. Make the commitment to vote on or before November 3rd. I also encourage you to check out the Center for Free Thought Equality, which is an advocacy group that promotes evidence-based public policy and supports secular candidates running for office. Becoming a member is completely free, gives you access to tons of excellent resources related to secularism in politics. Just visit cfequality.org. You can find the link right underneath this video. This message was paid for by the Free Thought Equality Super PAC and is not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.